Welcome back, YCN Sports Talk. Jeremy Stout, Andrew Zerhide here, and let's flip it over to the baseball diamond. We only got about, 2 months until pitchers and catchers report, end of February, so it's going to be here before we know it once we get past this snowstorm that they're predicting.
Right.
So we talked a lot about the Red Sox last week in that rotation, and you have some news that it might be I don't want to say a blessing in disguise when somebody gets hurt, but Eduardo Rodriguez maybe tweak something.
Yeah, I guess in winter ball, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but I guess he tweaked one of his knees, and it was the same knee that was bothering him earlier in the season. So, and Dave Dombrowski has said that it isn't a serious injury. He just kind of tweaked it, but it is the same knee he had troubles with last year, which kept him off the field. So a little bit cause for concern, but they did have an extra starting pitcher, so this is probably going to be, Eduardo Rodriguez, he's probably going to start in the minors, probably in AAA because of this injury, which will solidify the rotation. I mean, you'll know the 5 guys starting, but it kind of makes you a little bit worried about that Clay Buchholz trade.
Right.
Because now that veteran pitcher who has been relatively solid for them in years, now he's gone. So they're if one of their 5 starting pitchers, if Erod isn't ready to start the season and one of their 5 pitchers goes down early, they're going to have to look to the minors to really bring someone up.
Yeah, and that's what we had talked about a little bit, and that's where, like I said, I don't want to say it's a good thing, but now they have their 5 starting pitchers. Probably you've got Stephen Wright and then Drew Pomeranz as their starters, but you're right, with Clay Buchholz not being there, and he was the most versatile. We talked about that, and he can start, he can be in the bullpen. So it will be interesting. Hopefully that doesn't, hurt their long-term plans. But you got to wonder when is it fish or cut bait time with Eduardo Rodriguez? And he's young, and that's all well and good. But they traded for him from Baltimore, and they looked like he was going to be what they were expecting. I think there was an Andrew Miller trade was what they got him.
Right, yep.
And he just hasn't. He can pitch. He has the talent.
Yeah.
And we've seen it, but he's either injured or he's serving up home runs, and he just seems inconsistent. Is this maybe, I don't know his contract, but he gets one more chance?
Yeah, I would definitely give him at least one more chance. I mean, his ceiling is so high.
Right.
It's really, when he's healthy and he feels confident, he really looks like one of the better pitchers in baseball. He definitely he's big. He's a big guy on the mound. He's really good stuff, and he pitched a number of very good games last year, but it was really hit or miss.
Yeah.
He either pitched an almost flawless game or he gave up bomb after bomb.
Right.
And he has an issue with tipping his pitches, where he'll wind up, and based on his wind up, the batter will be able to tell if it's a fastball or an off-speed pitch. So he has some things to work on, but the Red Sox definitely should give him at least one more shot.
So maybe get him healthy in the offseason here in the next couple of months. He starts the season maybe in AAA, as you said, work on a bunch of things and come back. I mean, by no means do I want them to get rid of him or sell low. I mean, make sure they can get something for him if they do, but you're right. It just seems like maybe give him one more chance. Another guy that they're looking at signing, Trevor Plouffe, third baseman. He had been with the Twins previously. Are they having second thoughts about Sandoval at third, or is this just merely let's get some insurance and get somebody behind him?
Yeah, well, Plouffe, he's a guy, he's got some power. I think last year he had an offseason, I think he was banged up a little bit. He hit 260, which isn't that bad.
No.
12 home runs, 47 RBIs, so he's a solid player, and I think he's hit the 30 home run mark a couple times in his career. So this really is some insurance for Pablo Sandoval, but I think it's also to kind of solidify their bench. And, this is just telling Pablo, we're giving you the job, but we definitely have a backup option. And obviously you have Brock Holt, who can also fill in at third base, but he can fill in anywhere. So he's not just the backup third base.
Right, he's more the utility. He can play anywhere, and obviously Moncada not there anymore, so they need somebody. Quickly, before we go, let's give an overview of the American League as a whole. Edwin Encarnacion signing with the Indians, really shoring up that DH/first base. He'll mostly DH, and Mike Napoli was there last year. Didn't really bring a lot to the table.
Right.
So the battle of who's the favorite in the American League? Is it the Indians now? They bring everybody back plus Encarnacion, or is it the Red Sox with Sale?
Well, that signing with Encarnacion really made everybody stop and say, well, the Red Sox are probably still the favorites, but I mean that bat in the middle of their lineup, they're going to be very dangerous. That was a very good signing for the Indians. And, and the AL East, too, I've heard some rumors about the Yankees trying to maybe get Jose Quintana from the White Sox, which is basically a step down from Chris Sale. But I mean, yeah, the Red Sox, really other teams around them are starting to fill in some pieces to really challenge the Sox.
And the Blue Jays and the Yankees, I think some people had been in talks to get Andrew McCutchen, the center fielder for Pittsburgh. So there's still, even though we've made most of the big deals, there's still some winter to go. And as the offseason continues, we'll get into more talk on that. We're going to take a break. One final segment. We've got our Salt Hill Pub Picks of the Week, and we've got some local high school roundup when we come back. You're watching YCN Sports Talk.